Hey guys, my name is Austin Black and I want to talk to you guys about vlogging setups from my main vlogging rig with the Sony a6500 to the Sony FDR-X3000 action camera that I have set up for vlogging, to the RX100 Mark V, my point and shoot camera, to my cell phone, the iPhone 7. So I made a video recently talking about my vlogging setup, and it's a really expensive setup, and for everybody there's a different setup. There's a different right combination of price to quality. All of these setups have different attributes and they might be right for different people. So I want to take a closer look at each of those. To start out, we have the iPhone 7. It's cheap, it shoots 4K, but it's also very basic. I've got my phone set up with my pop socket. Surprisingly, it's pretty modular. You can add a lot to this. Next, we've got the most unique setup, the FDR-X3000. This is an action cam that I have rigged up as a vlogging setup. You'll notice that it has an audio input, which is really nice. However, there's no way to really monitor your video. This setup costs about $400, and really it's probably the best value vlogging setup because of the audio. Next, we have my point and shoot, the RX100 Mark V. This camera is really nice because it's really small and discreet, and it has a flip out screen. It's $1,000. The problem is you have no audio input and you have to use these internal mics on top with the wind muffs. Finally, we've got my main shooter, the Sony a6500. I have it set up with the Rode Video Micro. I have a variable ND filter on it. I have it on the most expensive Joby GorillaPod with the mid-range head. I like the mid-range head a lot more. This setup is the most expensive. It's about $2,500. It also has kind of the best mixture of everything. So let's take them out in the field and see how they perform. Okay, so this is the Sony FDR-X3000. This is the second cheapest setup to vlog with, and I really like the ergonomics of it. This handle's really nice. The only problem is I can't really see what it's gonna look like or hear what it's gonna sound like. Now, the big ticket item with this setup is the optical stabilization. So this is gonna give you the most stable shot of all of them. Of all of these setups, you're gonna get the smoothest motion, partly because it's an ultra wide lens and also because it has optical stabilization, which is really good optical stabilization. So I'm just gonna go on a quick little trip. I'm gonna get Kristen some tacos and maybe skateboard a little bit. Basically kind of a test vlog. It's not gonna be too exciting, but you're gonna get a good feel for each camera. So yeah, this is the FDR-X3000. Next, let's take a look at the iPhone. Okay, so we're getting close to the park. We're gonna nickel board for a little bit and kind of show each camera in more of an action setting. This is on my iPhone. It's shooting 4K, which is nice. The audio probably isn't very good, and again, I don't really know what I'm seeing or hearing. There's not really a good way. I mean, I can look at it after the fact, but it's convenient. It's convenient because I have it on me, but ergonomically, I think this is the worst one. This is the worst experience to shoot on, and the image really is going to break down in low light. So this is what you're looking at with the RX100 Mark V. It's not gonna sound great, the audio is not great, and unlike the FDR-X3000, it's not stabilized. But this is a pretty expensive camera. This is a $1,000 camera, so the image looks really nice in 4K. Nicer than the FDR-X3000 for sure. So we can see if I'm just walking with my arm out, it's gonna be really shaky. It's not quite as smooth as the FDR-X3000. And another thing is the battery life on this camera is pretty weak. You're gonna need a lot of batteries. Okay, so finally, this is the most expensive setup, the Sony a6500. And it feels really great with this Joby GorillaPod. I can set it up as a tripod. I can't see myself recording, so that's a little bit of an issue, but it's also stabilized. The 4K looks great. It's got the biggest sensor, so it's gonna do the best in low light. This is the best camera. This is the best camera for sure. But it's also the least discreet camera. So like we've got cars going by, we've got people here, and I'm kind of a little bit embarrassed. Okay, so we're back on the action camera, and originally when I decided to do this test, I thought that the action camera was going to be one of the best choices, and I still think it is one of the best choices, but I think it might be the least versatile because you've just got this ultra wide field of view, and that's something that you can't really ever change. There's no way to really punch in because the image quality isn't really amazing, so I don't think that this camera is all that versatile. Yet you can take it underwater, so that's really nice if you're gonna go to a water park or something like that. But as your main vlogging camera, I'm not so sure about this thing. So another really good thing about the iPhone is I just ordered the tacos ahead of time on my phone. So, you know, multi-purpose. This thing is a multi-tool that you can use for just about anything. And, you know, I always have it on me, so, you know, it's good for those reasons. Okay, so we're back in the car. This is the RX100 Mark V, and we're gonna look at why there's a little bit of a downfall with this camera, and that's the focal length. So at its widest, it is 24 millimeters. And a lot of the time that's not wide enough. We're in kind of a tight space here, and I think my hair is getting cut off a little bit. So that's something to keep in mind. The action camera is ultra wide. My 10 to 18 lens is ultra wide, which are both really, really good for vlogging. This is like kind of a tight focal length. I did an online order for Austin. Yep. Here you go. All right. So I think we saw that not any one of these cameras was the best option for everybody. Each one had a different mixture of price, quality, low light, audio, all of these things. So it really depends on your own personal preferences, your own budget. Not any one of these cameras would be a bad choice for vlogging or making videos. So really anybody can get out there and start making videos. And the big key is just to get started. So hey, subscribe if you enjoyed this video, subscribe if you got something out of it. Thanks for watching as always. My name is Austin Black. See you next time.